You can see by the picture, the dill hole picture there. That, if you don't know who
it looks just like his father.
That is Fidel Castro Jr. Justin Trudeau, Canadian Prime Minister extraordinaire. He's fantastic. He's done so much good.
He's done a great job.
Oh, in like less than 10 years, he has really done like a really, really good job for this country.
You know, have you seen the ads, the Conservative Party ads, where they play Trudeau's clip where it's like, it's time for a change.
Time for a change!
And it shows the increase in homelessness.
And they show all the homeless people and stuff.
And like all the problems that have come up in the last, what are we going on 7 years or so or something like that, or 9 years or...
I love you too, by the way, Joe. Yeah, I've seen that one. It's funny. Okay, well, Canada seems to be aware of the fact that there may be a civil war looming.
Canada and the UK are talking about this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that, you know, countries who are allied and connected to the United States are kind of talking about like, all right, what's going on here, and maybe starting to seriously consider the implications of the U.S. breaking out into a full-blown civil war.
Yeah, it's not...
Whatever that looks like, because it's a modern-day thing. It's a whole new era. It's not like, I don't know. I mean, maybe we do see violence in the streets. I don't know.
I don't think it's hyperbolic anymore to say it. And Tim Pool's been talking about it for a while, but, you know, some people
write about it for a while.
I think so, too. I'm going to read this article real quick. Political. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's political and it's dumpster fire. But let's see what they have to say. So Canada's big worry, a U.S. civil war. When Justin Trudeau meets Joe Biden in the G7 summit in Italy this week, Trudeau will probably not ask whether the United States is at risk of erupting in civil war in the next few years. Of course not. A think tank hosted within Trudeau's government is already pondering that question. In a spring report titled Disruptions on the Horizon, a quiet office known as the Policy Horizons Canada. That sounds a bit nefarious, doesn't it? Policy Horizons Canada. Yeah. We pay for a lot of bullshit up here.
There's a lot of insidious... We have a... Don't we have like a Ministry of Truth here?
Yeah.
Like...
You can't make that shit up.
We have a lot of stuff.
We got some weird shit. We get taxed out of our assholes, though, so... You know, there's a lot of money to be paying for all these programs that we don't want to pay for. But all right, so the Policy Horizons Canada.
If they worked.
What's that?
It'd be fine if they worked.
Well, that's true. That would be fine, but they don't. Policy Horizons Canada proposed American Civil War as a scenario that Ottawa should consider preparing for. This hypothetical was tucked into the middle of the 37-page document, which sketched the possibility in 15 spare words: U.S. ideological divisions, democratic erosion, and domestic unrest escalate, plunging the country into civil war. What did they fucking type that into ChatGPT?
Well, there are media companies that are doing that. So
that feels like you just said, "Hey, ChatGPT, in 15 words,
write this." Yeah, basically,
write this, and that's basically what it came up with. Come on, only out of Canada this kind of stuff can come out. It's an unsettling thing to find out your immediate neighbor is getting nervous about the possibility of gruesome violence in your home. Oh, shut up. There has been no shortage of...
Although, what I will say, you talk about the violence thing, right? Like, you know, we're not going to talk about it, but, you know, our local situation.
Yeah.
People are very prone to jumping to violence these days.
Yeah, that's true.
And doing insane, unhinged things.
This is true.
So
if you get the woke mob, man, they're the worst, right?
Yeah. It is any mob. Like, it's just so weird how it seems it's almost... Maybe it's not a modern day thing, but it almost seems like now more than ever, people are prone to that. They're prone to doing these unhinged things. The mob mentality of we're going after this thing. This is a thing, and we're attacking it now. And they'll do genuinely insane, unhinged.
Well, it's because they're being they're being celebrated for it, right? When people are doing this kind of stuff, and it's like, oh, you get a bunch of these crazy people will jump on board and be like, and they live stream stuff, and it's like, oh, you get a bunch of people watching. So
and it just you know it barrels out of control. It just
escalates, right?
And it's like, so like what happens if there is you know, I mean, we've had stuff, right, like January 6th or whatever, where there's some kind of unrest. You had the Summer of Love, where, you know, billions of dollars of property damage, and
it was lovely.
Like, You
I
know,
know.
how long until it just breaks down into just straight outright violence, just people attacking each other in the streets? It splits up into factions. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But the Policy Horizons report surveyed hundreds of experts and government officials about disruptive events that Canada might do well to prepare for. Then the authors classed those scenarios based on the likelihood they will occur, how soon they will happen, and how much chaos they might create. So they're doing work, like they're it's almost like they're doing good work to prepare for this scenario, which is kind of funny when you say it that way. Like, they're saying these scenarios, but they're doing like all this work to sort of prepare for these scenarios. I don't know. I'm not gonna read any more of this. It's just funny. Like, obviously, an article like this is a bit of a fluff piece.
It is just interesting that you have major nations kind of discussing this possibility, because the United States is such a powerhouse globally, and there are so many implications if the U.S. kind of starts to crack,
Right.
and now is divided amongst itself. There's a lot of implications to all of the trade deals that it has with the world, all of the agreements that it has, responsibilities that it's supposed to uphold. And I mean, a lot of those the world doesn't even want, because they're all military. They're like, no, just how about you get out of here,
Yeah.
How about you get out of Iraq?
Well, that's the scariness about this, right? If there were any kind of civil,
Joe's right there.
what's his name?
After the election, neither side's going to accept the results.
I
think we're there.
100%. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which way.
Well, in 2016, the Democrats denied the election. In
that's just a new
2020,
thing.
the Republicans denied the election. But it's not just a new thing, because now it's been happening since Al Gore.
Yeah.
And now, with this particular time, now how dare you question?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How dare you?
For anybody listening, the Al Gore was the 2020 or the 2000 election. I mean,
I don't even know what year. I was 3.
Yeah, it's the 2000 election when they contested the Florida outcome, and which led to Bush winning. But it was highly contested. It's pretty much been, other than Obama. Actually, maybe Bush's second term wasn't really contested, but usually second terms aren't contested.
Second terms are
because
it's
it's usually a foregone conclusion that
that
a president's going to do it again. But
but when you contest it, if it's Trump, when all of the metrics were anomalies, every single metric that typically predicts an election went the other way. So if you even have questions, how dare you? Right? That's a new move. That's a new.
That is definitely
narrative.
a sort of a new narrative, yeah.
And so who knows what's going to happen?
I'll tell you though, it's a little scary when and now other countries are talking about civil war in the U.S.
They're trying to prepare. They're trying to set up for, like, what do we do?
That's it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like, do you think we're kind of, are we on the cusp of a U.S. civil war, or is it just hyperbolic at this point?